During the 1800s, various forms of stick and ball games were being developed, many of which may resemble what we know today as America's favorite pastime. In 1845, Alexander Cartwright and Louis Wadsworth of the New York Knickerbockers Club invented the game we know as modern-day baseball. Cartwright and Wadsworth developed the rules for baseball, including field dimensions, the amount of players on the field, and how many innings are played. Although the rules for baseball continued to expand, the rules set by Cartwright and Wadsworth continue to be used today. In 1846, the Knickerbockers and a group of cricket players played the first baseball game. The Knickerbockers wore the first baseball uniforms, consisting of blue wool pants, a white flannel shirt, and a straw hat. By the 1800s, many teams developed stockings to wear with their uniforms to tell each team apart. Then in the 1840s, baseball caps were beginning to be worn by many baseball players, and different logos were worn on the front of each team's uniform. The game spread across the nation, but it was not until 1858 that the game became organized and the National Association of Baseball Players was developed, and then, in 1871, professional baseball teams began to form. War was ongoing during this time, which led to the spread of baseball, and eventually two leagues formed, the American League and the National League. When the champions of these two leagues met, the first World Series took place against the Boston Pilgrims and the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1903. Because baseball was considered a profession, players were paid to play. Their salaries started around $2,000 a year, and by the 2000s, their salaries were around $15,000. When World War II began, many Major League Baseball players were being drafted into the armed forces. What was going to happen to baseball? Would the Major League Baseball parks collapse nationwide? In the spring of 1943, the All-American Girls League emerged. In order to keep Major League Baseball from collapsing, women across the nation were brought together to take the place of men as they served in war. Women's uniforms consisted of a Belgic tunic dress and baseball caps, much different from the flannel shirt and straw hats worn in the first baseball game. Since this was a profession, the women were being paid to play. Their salaries ranged from $45 to $85 a week, and could be as much as $125 as they kept playing. Philip K. Wrigley, founder of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, accomplished the one thing he set out to do when establishing this league, catching the public's eye. The women of this league were meant to be as attractive as possible and were even forced to attend an etiquette school. In 1948, the league peaked and attracted 910,000 fans, but these women accomplished much more than what Wrigley had expected. These women set the foundation for women's athletics even after men returned from war. Women continued to play baseball, and eventually softball took baseball's place as a women's sport. The All-American Girls Baseball League existed from 1943 to 1951, and they kept Major League Baseball entertainment alive, but the spark for girls' athletics did not cease. Modern-day baseball and softball holds many different aspects than the first baseball game in 1845. But if you watch closely enough, you will see the origins of one of America's oldest traditions shining through.